So this is a section of one of the sort of fourth mission in Halo 3. We're not going to be showing anything too much from the actual story, so there shouldn't be any spoilers in here.
Can we get the volume on the TV display? Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, but what this mission very much demonstrates is some of the core values in the gameplay of Halo 3. You know, returning to some of the great experiences of encounters that was polished in Halo 1, having huge numbers of opponents, and you'll see later some large-scale battles as well. Just, you know, real core, pure Halo gameplay.
I'm gonna show you kind of the scale of this battle.
Oh yeah, how
this is
far
a nice
back?
perspective, yeah.
How far back will it let you?
We have
go?
soft
Far
ceilings
out?
everywhere, so it will stop you at some point. But this is a great. I like really being able to pull back and show all the stuff that's happening in this scene.
This is a great example of lots of air vehicles and ground vehicles. So, you know, Jay and I are actually focusing on different aspects of this battle. But I mean, you know, every time you play the campaign cooperatively, you have a different experience because you're playing with different people. And you know, we've got the meta game and we've got the skulls and things, so we really can tailor the difficulty level, not just the actual standard difficulty settings.
Now, speaking of skulls, I noticed that when the Arbiter died, he respawned immediately. Do you have any skulls on, or is that the default?
There's no skulls on in this game.
Yeah, we've got no skulls on this particular game, but I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with the Iron Skull. If one of you dies and you both sort of teleport back to where you last in the checkpoint, so that really makes it a much
Which was the
more difficult experience.
default on Legendary for Halo 2. So we have a skull that you can turn on any difficulty level that does the same thing.
I mean, there's a number of skulls, and I think with all of maybe 7 or 8 skulls on in co-op, that nobody has really got through the campaign in a very fast amount of time. And the players of the studio obviously are very familiar with all the nuances of the maps. So you know, the hardcore players are definitely going to find the challenge through the skull system if they're finding Legendary not enough, which for me, Legendary is too much. I'm sort of approaching heroic.
So it's just to show you a sense of scale. Here's the Scarab coming over the wall. And this is the Master Chief right here.
Looks like an ant, but never underestimate the power of the Master Chief. So I don't know if you want to go first.
Well, he's an ant with a gun. Yeah. Now, did you record all the way to the end of the stage? Will we see that final set-piece battle? Or
no.
We're not going to ruin some of that story at the end, but we'll just take you beyond the destruction of the Scarab here. I mean, the Scarab in Halo 3 has actually changed rather a lot. The AI has improved greatly. It knows very much where all the enemies are, can work in different terrains. I mean, we invested a lot of energy into making that a much more exciting encounter. And it's to give you that sense of scale as well that I think is important in Halo 3.
Now, we saw this in June, and I'm kind of curious to know, like, what about the game has changed since then. Like, the Scarab, to me, seems more polished, but, like, more interesting looking, but maybe that's just...
So May, we did the 3 weeks of the beta, the public beta. And, I mean, I can throw some stats at you if you're interested. I mean, we had 12 million hours worth of gameplay, which is about 1,400 years for one person to play all of that gameplay back again. So we just learned a great deal from that. All the weapon balance has changed since then. The Scarab, absolutely, we did a lot of usability testing and things, so you know, it's much more intuitive, but also is much more intelligent. You can see Jay is destroying the power source there, and has to get off quickly. I mean, audio has made a big impact. And the audio guys were working until the 11th hour to make sure they've got the experience that reinforces it.
It was 11th hour and 45 minutes. So I just paused, so you can see how this stuff works. I love the fact that when I go out to the rocket, that you can actually hear the looping sound on the rocket. It's still sitting there waiting for it to keep flying. It's good stuff.
And really, yeah, from the beta, I mean, we really were able to
you can go frame by frame.
Make sure that we dedicated the time to get Halo 3 as polished as it needed to be.
Yeah, because when he was there, it was right about the time when art was pretty much, all of the content was created and for the most part finished, and then we went into polish phase at that point.
And we've been playing all of the campaign missions since last November, so we have been iterating and iterating and iterating on I mean, you've probably met a lot of people at Bungie in your time, and like we get a lot of pressure from the community, and they have a huge influence on what we do. But nobody's more critical than Bungie ourselves, and the amount of sweat and blood and tears and herding cats and craziness that goes on in the studio to get the missions right is incredible. But you know, we really did dedicate a lot of time to just polish and making sure that we reacted to the feedback from the beta, but also reacted to the feedback of the testing that went on.